Good evening, guys. Good evening. Tottenham 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Rather, Nottingham Forest 0, Spurs 2. Guys, you know what? What better way is there to start a weekend with a win for Spurs? This one now has a taste of the bitter along with the sweet. We're going to start with the sweet. The sweet is obviously 3 points. 3 points in the bag. And listen, I said to the guys during the week on a Monday night, I felt it was going to be a tight game. I did predict a 2-1 score, so I wasn't a million miles away. And if it wasn't for Vicario, my God, what a worldly save he made. Top save, instinctive save, right on the line, which are now completely nullified Nottingham Forest's potential onslaught following the Basuma sending off, and I will get into Basuma as well, which is part of the bitter. But you know what, guys? Overall, I will say this: the first half, I felt like we was you know, the Brennan Johnson injury kind of messed up the flow a little bit, because I thought we was getting a little bit something going there. Then obviously Nottingham Forest came back into it as well, so it was a bit like, oh, how's this going to shape up? Because obviously tactically we changed after Brennan Johnson came off and Skip came on. We changed tactically. Certainly not so much tactically, but the personnel. We've had to move, obviously, Kulusevski out wide. Kulusevski, another one I want to get into. Pushed him out wide, and obviously Skip coming in midfield. So we did change a little bit in that sense. But once we got our noses in front with Richarlison, another goal to his tally, with a bullet of a header from a Kulusevski cross, put us in front. I never ever felt, even in the second half, that we was going to let this one go. And obviously Basuma's red card compromised it a little bit. And this is where I want to get into the bit, a little bit of the bitter when we come back to the sweet. The bitter side of it. The only part of the game I always felt something was there. It was there with, you know, Udogie on 1 yellow card away from suspension. Romero the same. Basuma getting sent off. The signs were there. Udogie getting himself booked. Romero, really, honestly, by the skin of his teeth, avoided a yellow card. And then of course the Basuma, the red cards. These challenges have got to stop, because as much as we may like it, some of you played in midfield back in the 80s and 90s will say, you know, these things, they've got to stop. They're not part of the game anymore. And you know, once VAR gets involved in it, you're going. And for me, this part of it has to stop, because the second time now, we're going to lose him. We've lost him now till after the African Cup of Nations in January. So we won't be seeing him for ages. And it's a massive loss to lose him at this point of the season, after having him back from suspension not that long ago. That part with him, Romero and Udogie, was always in the air. Now we've lost Udogie, we've lost Basuma, and by the skin of our teeth, we just about managed to not lose Romero for the next game at least, against Everton. So we need to really start looking into that and avoid, because it just seems to be, and I think Postecoglou said it at the post-match, it just seems to be an ongoing theme of our season. If it ain't injuries or suspensions or both, we need to stop that, because I think if we're not losing points on it, or if we haven't lost points enough of it already, it will mess us up in the second half of the season. So we need to eradicate that out of the game. Back to the sweet, Kulusevski. And that's why I dedicate the thumbnail to him. Cool and majestic. How brilliant was he? You know, again, Mari's and then Mari. You know, we was having a discussion with him on a Monday night, and he was saying that, you know, want to see a bit more. And I was saying, I think we're being a bit overcritical, Kulusevski. I've liked him, especially in that number 10 role. I think he's, I'll repeat what I said on Monday night. I think he's relishing from the position and responsibility given to him by Postecoglou in that position in Maddison's absence. Is he in Maddison's league? Probably not, but he is relishing the responsibility, and he's taking it on board, and he's grabbing it with both hands, and he has given us performance, assists. He's linking up the play, assisting goals like he did tonight again with Kulusevski. And on top of that now, he's adding to the goals. So for me, whether he plays on that right, he's just having that freedom to move into the middle, going back out on the right-hand side, having the freedom of movement in the front line makes him an unpredictable player. Then just having him stick on that right-hand side, knowing almost what we've got to do, but what he's going to do. The difference is time there, though. If you look at that goal, the defender was shaping up. He was almost inviting him to go on the outside and not on the inside. Once he got shown the outside, Kulusevski did the one thing I haven't seen him ever do. He's actually gone and took him on the outside with his left foot, smacking the ball out on the right, with his right shot, the right-footed shot. Good strike of the ball. Yes, the goalkeeper made a meal of it. Absolutely. But the fact that Kulusevski just took it with his left and hit it with his right has shown that even on that right-hand side, he perhaps will tell defenders, actually, I'm not always going to cut on the inside. I will take it on the outside if needed be. And that is massive, massive props to Kulu, because I hadn't seen that side of him. But like I said, it's just a positive when he's on the ball, and when we attack, we always look a threat when he's at the forefront of it. So massive, massive props to him. So for me, tonight was a big win to start on the front foot like that, to get the result that we probably expected at Forest. Forest is not. Listen, they had quite a few chances tonight, and it was their poor finishing. Could have done a lot better in a lot of the situations. Vicario pulling a couple of saves there. I thought overall, it has to be said, even when we went down to 10 men, in the grand scheme of it, it was a good night for us. But we go back. Just got to eradicate a few things, but we move forward. We move forward now, having a week of preparation to prepare brilliantly for the home game against Everton, in the hope we don't lose any more players. And of course, now we're going to go back to a makeshift defence, because we're going to have to replace Udogie with Emerson will come into play again, and of course now Bissouma with Højbjerg and Skip, who's going to be the player that's going to fulfil his role. Lo Celso missing out for injury tonight. Hopefully we can get him back for the Everton game. But we'll have time during the week to discuss all of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe. And as always, forever always, come on you Spurs.